All right, Panther fans, hockey fans. I thought it was going to happen last night. I thought Tampa was going to do that thing that they do. They almost did, and then Colorado did the thing that Tampa does, which is make you wonder how did they end up? How did they score that goal? How did that happen?
Puck
Now,
luck.
yeah. I mean, that was you couldn't, like I said last night, you couldn't do it if you tried it 1,000 times on purpose. You couldn't get it to work exactly that way. So Colorado takes a 1-0 series lead, which I think we kind of, even Stu and I, even though we think Tampa's probably going to take it, we kind of both thought Colorado would win game one. And for a half a minute there, it looked like they might not, and that would have really been bad for them. So how you doing this morning, buddy?
Good. Good. Those things happen, man. Hedman blocked the shot, and it's like when a goalie makes a save with his pads and it just gets, it's perfectly placed to rebound right to,
Right.
Another player's stick, and it's in the net. I mean, it's bang, bang.
Yeah.
But what I didn't like was how Colorado got in the zone. It was a defensive, if you go back and look at the replay,
Right.
and I don't remember who it was, but
it must have been Sergachev, because I've had a couple of people say that Sergachev was pissing them off. So I'm assuming that's what they meant. But
I don't know. All I can say is the thing that shocked me was Vasilevskiy giving up, those two quick goals.
yeah,
That he did not look good on.
no,
And then eventually he got in the groove. And,
right.
I was just, texting you at the end that he's turned that switch on.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why when they scored the OT goal, I was like, but he had no chance on it.
No. That was,
But
and look, that's what's got me thinking. I know Avalanche fans will disagree with me, but I said Avalanche would win last night, and I still think Tampa's going to win. And now I really think Tampa's going to win because, yes, Colorado pulled that game out last night, not taking anything away from them. But after the two ridiculously weak goals that you cannot count on Vasilevskiy to give up any more of, the rest of the game was 3-1 Tampa until overtime.
yeah,
So Tampa, the point being there is Tampa showed that they can, close to shut them down over the period of a couple of periods there.
you and I both knew that Tampa was going to tie the game.
Oh yeah, I mean,
especially after they got the second one. I just,
right. That's just what they do.
And then of course Sergachev scores another one of those floaters. Yeah. Although this one wasn't a floater. If looking at the replay again, I mean, it wasn't a floater. It was a faster shot that went off both posts.
Right.
But everything, like I said, with Tampa, everything goes through Kucherov, and he just did it again last night. The guy is just magic.
Yep. That goal with Palat.
These observations. Cirelli looks like he's found his game again.
Right.
I think, for his first game back, I don't think Point had any not a memorable game, but I think he's gonna need a couple of games to get acclimated.
Now, I want to ask you on Point, if you noticed this. Did they insert him into the power play? Because the power play didn't quite look. Now I'm sure Colorado kind of figures, they were contributing to that, and partially that's probably true. But the other part is it didn't look as clicking and as it had been. And we experienced that as Panther fans when Ekblad went out and they brought in Giroux, and all of a sudden the power play was ass. And I think that, not saying it was bad Tampa last night, but it wasn't. I mean, that's been their equalizer, is their power play has just been ridiculous. And last night it just looked a little bit off. So, but
no, I just
good.
It was a great game. Colorado, they're a great team.
Right.
The speed is what's gonna do it for them. And you could see after Tampa tied the game, I think they took control over the game. They just couldn't, bury one.
Right.
But man, a minute and 26 seconds into the overtime.
Yeah, I know. I just
Crazy.
barely,
Yeah, they didn't even get some They didn't even get some ruts in the new ice.
No.
But
no. But that
anyway,
that goal.
What's that?
No, I'm just saying. But that goal was just. I mean, I'm still in amazement.
You can't draw it up any more perfect than that.
Right.
Hedman blocks the shot, but he doesn't recover fast enough.
Right. Right. And neither did Vasilevskiy. Well, because the puck went right, left, right in the net. I mean, it was poor.
Bang.
When I was looking at the replay, I was looking at Vasilevskiy going, that hurt my groin, man, because he was in the middle of lunging to the right and he had to stop and lunge to the left. I mean, that hurt me. That hurt me because he did
I don't even know.
It wasn't like he pushed off.
I think I've tried to do a split once in my life, and it pulled my groin.
He left that one leg out, and he said, "Oh shit!" And he just put the other leg out, and I watched that, and I'm like, "No, just no." But
don't you agree? At some point, he turned that switch on.
Yeah,
that you're not scoring on me again switch.
Yep. Well, he did.
He obviously had to be pissed off that he let those
right.
That he let those two in.
And to that point, that's the worst thing you could see if you're an Avalanche fan. And I know you guys are happy you won game one and everything like that, but now you're done pissed off Vasilevskiy, which is the wrong move. Which is the wrong move.
No, it's wild. There's no game till Saturday.
I know. I saw that. I'm like, what the hell?
It's not every other game. Every other day. So it gives the players more time to rest.
I guess that's that's better for them. It's difficult on us because it's like you want to get into a groove, But I guess we're having to start prepare for no hockey soon anyway. So that's an entirely different subject. But all right, so let's give Colorado some credit here because I've been really rough on them. And I don't want to appear like I'm not a Colorado hater. For Avalanche fans that are wondering why I'm a Panther guy rooting for the Lightning, it's because about 25% of the channel, including Patreon and YouTube members, are Lightning fans. So that's the biggest reason why. And also because you guys swept my Panthers the only time we made it to the finals. So that's the reason why. I don't hate Colorado, but I've just seen enough of what Tampa can do. And what Tampa does, with the exception of the Panthers, and even a little bit in the Panthers, because the Panthers should have kind of won game two if they wouldn't have screwed it up. But they start the series kind of feeling out the other team, like how are they going to play? What are we? And then all of a sudden, like somebody said in the comments, like Tampa just chameleons. And it's like whatever the other team does really well, all of a sudden they say, okay, we figured out between John Cooper and our, and the staff, they go, this is what we're going to do to shut them down. And then they just shut them down. So, I'm not surprised with how this went too much last night. Obviously the weak goals that Vasilevskiy gave up were a blessing for Colorado because they won the game, but now they done pissed Vasilevskiy off. And he no goalie. I can't remember any goalie, maybe Waugh, who when he said no more, unless you get some kind of ridiculous, miraculous thing like happened in overtime last night, if he even has a remote chance of seeing the puck, he's going to stop it. So I think Colorado needs to be prepared a little bit because like you're talking about their speed and everything. And that's true. That is a true statement. I just think mentally they need to be prepared for the possibility that if Tampa sorts through a way to clog up that neutral zone and slow down that speed, Colorado's going to have to win this series a different way. I don't think you're going to see 6-7 games of what Tampa allowed last night.
It's going to have to be dump and chase and win the board battles. But here's the line that's going to do it for Tampa. That Nick Paul, Colton, Sorella, I don't know I think Perry's on the fourth line now because they moved Point back up. But that Nick Paul, man, he's a beast.
Yeah.
He's gonna play a big role. I think Sorella's gonna play a big role. Corey Perry might even play a big role. Right. I mean, just remember, Corey Perry's been to the finals 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
With 3 different teams.
Yeah.
Dallas, Montreal, and now Tampa.
Right.
And he wants that cup.
Right. And then, the other thing that happened, I mean, it didn't really, it might have affected the end of the game there. Tampa kind of had it turned on with Pat Maroon taking the delay of game penalty. I mean,
yeah, that was stupid. That happens.
It just happens. I know. I wish that there was some way the league could lessen the penalty for that rule, or maybe every team gets like one warning. It goes over by accident. You get I don't like it. I mean, yeah, you've said you don't. I don't like it either.
I don't like it either.
I'm just thinking outside the box. If there was a way,
they instituted that rule because it was an easy way of stopping the game, and maybe pressure that's coming in on the D. I don't like when the goalies, or the defending team knocks the pegs off the net.
Right.
How many times have we seen the goalie knock the net off? Or how many times have we seen the goalie lose his helmet, lose his face mask?
Shake his helmet. Well, that part I heard is the rule that if one of his straps gets loose, he's actually supposed to shake it off of his head to get the referee's attention to get the play to stop. Now, technically, he could not, right? But I remember seeing it in one of the earlier series where the announcer said that that's actually the rule, that if he shakes his...
But I think there should be a delay game penalty for a goalie blatantly knocking the net off, and maybe it's something a coach's challenge type of thing,
right?
Like they review it.
Right.
But
and that's one of those things that we've talked about it. It goes to intent, right? Because like with the delay of game penalty, it's like, how do you prove intent? Guys can shoot it with intent and then act like it was an accident. So on one hand, I get it. On the other hand, it's just like, man, it just seems to happen to all teams at the worst possible moments.
Yep.
So
just like every other penalty, it's subjective, and on the referees. I mean, look at how they gave Colorado that 2-man advantage. Now, granted, it was a obvious trip, but Cooper's point, and they didn't play the replay too many times to see that the play was offside and should have been whistled down before there is a trip. So,
but was it? Because the announcers said that they saw it, and then they brought in the rules guy, and they said it wasn't offsides.
I know,
but and to what I said, what they said too with that one penalty, the one that gave them the 5-on-3. I think if Colorado retains possession, they don't call the play, but because the Tampa player retained possession, he was going in. Remember, he was going to be shorthanded. His momentum was going to take him past, and he was going to be on a breakaway. So the refs kind of, you can't, you kind of have to call it at that point.
You have to call it.
Yeah. So,
and listen, I just think that Tampa's going to come out game 2, do what they did. Like you said, they're in a very adaptive team,
right?
And give props to Cooper.
Right.
Who's, very cool back there.
Yep.
He's not a demonstrative coach, although he did lace into the refs on that tripping call.
Yeah. But which is not his norm, but it works,
So I'm sure there'll be some, adjustments made, but I think they made the adjustments, and that's, after they tied the game, like I said, they settled down. But
right.
Again, it comes back to Vasilevskiy, and he's pissed off right now.
Right. Yeah. No.
I see Tampa taking game 2.
Yep. I agree with you.
And I think they're gonna score a bunch of goals.
I think Colorado came out, gave them their best shot. Had that first period. Vasilevskiy did very un-Vasilevskiy-like things, and then Colorado managed to hang on. in regulation. They didn't do anything else on offense, second or third period. And then the overtime goal, I mean, if nothing else, that saved. I'm not going to say they saved the series, but if they win the series, that's the goal. I mean, that's
listen,
just
in overtime, that's how, a lot of goals are scored in weird ways.
Yeah.
And it's usually some type of defensive mistake, cough up, flub, whiff, whatever you want to call it. It's kind of an unusual situation. Like I said, Hedman blocked the shot, and it just, the rebound came right out to the, Colorado guy, and of course he passed it to
Burakovsky. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But, I can't call him Bubba Brewski because we already got a Bubba Brewski, so I have to call him Bubba.
But I'll have to look. I'll have to look at if I can see the highlights again, or see a replay of the game. I want to see who screwed up on the Tampa defense, because he didn't clear it away from the puck went right from his stick to whoever the Colorado guy took it and went in and shot the puck.
Right. Yeah.
So I usually remember names of these players, but I don't.
Well, it happened so fast, and I was trying to hear it, and Kyle was this to me during the in the celebration and everything. So look, my opinion of this series hasn't changed. I thought Colorado would win last night. I predicted Colorado 4-2 last night. The fact that the Lightning were able to come back and get the 3 goals, that to me says it all in terms of what I think is going to happen the rest of the series. And I know, Avalanche fans are going to feel I'm disrespecting them, or I'm not giving them enough credit. And that's not really what it is. It's just, we've seen up close what Tampa does for a while now.
Yeah.
And there's nothing that Avalanche fans are saying in support of their team that everybody else hasn't said when they thought they were going to be the team that was going to beat Tampa. So
listen, you always want to root for your team,
right?
And you're always going to have some bias, but our opinions, and that's all they are, is opinions,
exactly,
are based on what we see. And I've seen a lot of both teams this year, and I just think, and again, I just pointed out the one factor that that Tampa has that Colorado doesn't, and that's goaltending.
Right.
And that's not saying that Kemper sucks.
No,
he's just not in the same league as Vasilevskiy.
No,
as are most of the goalies in the league.
Look,
I want to put Shesterkin up there.
Yeah,
he's a guy that could go toe to toe, but in the end, I mean, Vasilevskiy that's why I don't know what happened. He just had some brain farts last night, because he just killed his goals. His goals against percentage that was like under 1.
Yeah, exactly. Well, look,
4 goals is just like unheard of. So anyway, another thing I want to just point out, that, and I think I texted you, McKinnon is like everything's done at super speed, like McDavid.
Right.
I don't know if McKinnon would win an all-out race per se, but even his stick handling is done at super speed.
Right. And he
had a really good chance early in the game where he had the puck, and then he faked the Tampa defenseman, went a little bit more in the middle of the ice, but he shot it right in Vasilevskiy's breadbasket instead of trying to pick a corner. Maybe it happened too fast or whatever.
Right.
But those are the type of like high on the blocker. Those are the type of shots that are going to beat Vasilevskiy. But as you saw last night, he gets beat on a bang bang play. A play that he really doesn't have a chance to make the save.
Right. No, and
Tampa's just got to They just got to tighten up their defense. That's all.
Right.
They made some blunders.
Yeah.
Stamkos didn't cover whoever got that, what was it? Landeskog, I think.
Yeah.
puck was going in, but I think Landeskog just, made sure. But Stamkos lost
maybe
it.
It was Rantanen. But to your point, about McKinnon, and also for Colorado fans, if you think I hate the Avalanche, go back and watch my Avalanche versus Edmonton videos, and you'll realize I don't hate the Avalanche.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah. So, but to the point about McKinnon, I talked about this. I texted you about it, and I mentioned on the recap his hockey IQ, the tripping call, the initial call that made it 5-on-4 before the 5-on-3. Yes, it was tripping, but
yeah, he caused that.
Put his stick up, and McKinnon sped up into it. I'm like, you dirty son of a bitch.
Yeah, no. That was definitely that in my mind. Like, I agreed with you. That was kind of sort of like pre-planned.
Yeah.
Like, here's an opportunity where they're gonna have to do something illegal to me to stop me.
Right. It was
either one of those. I got two guys that are gonna either hook me, trip me, or hold me.
Yeah.
And sure enough.
Yeah.
And you're right. That's hockey IQ, man.
He was so smart. Well, when his brain works fast, and then his body has the ability to react to his brain. Those are the players that you see, like him and a Kucherov and McDavid. Yeah. Those are the guys that they're just on a different level. And that's the one thing as Panther fans, as these playoffs have gone on that I'm watching, I'm like, the only guy on our roster that I believe we have even close to the level of those guys in terms of the full package is Huberdeau. Barkov is an excellent two-way player, but he doesn't have that extra special.
Lundell's got it too.
Yeah,
and again, this was Lundell's rookie year, so give the kid some time. But he's got the hockey IQ for sure.
Right. But Barkov's a really good, great player, but he doesn't have that extra level like a McKinnon or Kucherov, where you just go, holy crap, how did he do that? Including with the speed. It's just we have, like I've been saying, Panthers have a lot of guys that are almost as good as the best guys, and you should be able to win with that. But except for Tampa has the best coach, and so that's the end of that.
I mean, when Huberdeau's on, you've seen some of those no-look passes. Like, he knows exactly where that player's going.
Right.
But the problem with him has just been his hesitation.
Right.
And his, I'm not going to say lack of confidence, but he's, when you're tentative and you have an idea of what you want to do, like on the power play. The reason why the power play sucked in the playoffs is because they were just too tentative. You see Colorado, both teams, but specifically with Tampa, it's Hedman to Kucherov, either low down to whoever, back to Kucherov, back to Hedman. They're always looking for the Stamkos one-timer. I always see them looking for him. And, the defense has to cheat a little bit, which obviously I agree with. But it's Kucherov, and, I'm surprised that we didn't see more shots from Hedman on the power play last night.
Yeah, the power play looked a little bit off. And I wanted to
just wait till point, gets going.
Yeah, he's got he was.
I'm predicting some Braden Point goals in the next couple of games.
Yep. So we got Saturday, so we got a couple of days off. So Stu has requested multiple puppet videos. Stu and Steve both requested multiple puppet videos during that time. So I'm not gonna do it just because they special requested it. I'm gonna be a stubborn ass and not do it. So how do you guys like that? No, we'll fill the void. We'll fill it. I thought we were going for Friday.
Yeah, you gotta get some puppets like custom made, like an.
Well, look, I'm telling you, I'm getting. Oh, you were on the stream last night. That's right. So the next, since we're going NHL, okay. And the material is going to be beautiful. Okay. I'm going to get a Tortorella puppet. I'm going to get a Tortorella puppet. Now people will watch that. He's going to give me so much material. Tortorella in Philadelphia is just like a dream. You know what I mean? It's just like every week there's going to be like, can you believe
the press conferences are the funny?
Yeah, that's what
and reporters. I mean, some of these coaches they really don't want to do an interview after their team's lost, right? Especially if their team's been blown out,
right?
And then like Daryl Sutter's a perfect example.
Yeah,
they don't want to be there. They don't want to answer questions, and they really get irate when the reporters ask them stupid questions.
Yep.
And they want to say "F you," but they can't.
Right. But so yeah, that's gonna happen. So all right. Make sure you hit the like button. We really appreciate all the support. Thank you for all the new subscribers. There'll be plenty of content. I'll figure it out as I go. I've got a bunch of different ideas that I'm working on. Stu and I are continuing to work on. We're in the process. It's been uploaded as a podcast to a couple of places, but I'm realizing to get to the bigger ones that I have to switch it to MP3 format. And for some reason, I was looking yesterday and my Power Director doesn't format to MP3. So I have to figure that out. But it's all in work. The idea is to practice with it and get it all good to go over the summer so that at the beginning of next season, it's all nice and tight and we've been doing it and we can make a big deal about this is how we're doing things. So that's happening. And other than that, Saturday, 1 hour before the game, with the pregame live stream, I'm still giving away Panther stuff. And then when my live stream ends, it automatically redirects to Nick at Twisted Wrister, who does the full in-game commentary. So, all right. Appreciate all the support, and we will see you again in the next one. Hopefully, any minute now, we will be back with breaking news with the Panthers hired Trotz. Any minute now.
Cassidy got scooped up in less than a week.
Yeah.
That was quick. The fact that Trotz hasn't signed and Trotz hasn't signed with anybody yet.
Right. That's the thing.
That's a good thing, but could be nothing.
Well, where else would Trotz go? I mean, we got 30 seconds. Where else would Trotz go? I mean, the only team that I think he'd be good for is the Islanders, and I'm thinking, well, he ain't going back to the Islanders.
I think if I'm Trotz,
I mean, if
just like Quenneville saw the potential of our team,
right?
If I'm Trotz, and it's South Florida, I mean, it's, we have like everything going for us. Why wouldn't it be us? I don't think he wants to go to Winnipeg.
Well, Winnipeg,
Florida, I don't think he wants to go to an Arizona. I don't think he wants to go to a losing team or a rebuild team or what.
Right.
He wants to go to a winner.
Right. So how many winners
he wants to go to a team? He wants to go to a team that's, have a lot of diamonds in the rough, but they need to be polished, and that's what he does.
Right.
So I just look at the potential of our team and implementing his defensive-minded system,
right?
And see how the players would react to that, and how I think it would improve the team.
I agree, but
we'll just have to wait and see what happens.
Yep. So hopefully,
but we'll definitely have a video out, like we did on the Claude Giroux thing. Man, we were right on there.
Yeah,
I think we had that video up within an hour or so. So
right.
I think we're actually, if I remember correctly, I was still watching.
You were still watching it.
I was still watching the details.
On
the NHL Network. So,
all right, guys,
we'll be keeping our ears out for that.
Yeah, I mean, I did what I could. I made a video about it yesterday. That's never not worked before. So now I'm really concerned. Now I'm like wondering what in the hell is going on. Now, because basically what that means is they watched the video. And now they're thinking, all right, we have to do something different than all of these options, because that's usually what happens. So I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine now. All right.
Well, Kevin Weeks, he seems to be, he's got this he does the Instagram, he does breaking news.
Yeah.
Like Uyghur did his weather reports.
Right.
So, the last couple of announcements, Kevin Weeks has broken them.
Right.
We had our coaches that were let go, and then he had the Bruce Cassidy thing yesterday. And he's also mentioned the Tortorelli thing. So
Right. Yeah.
Anyway.
The Panthers are keeping it tight, man. No information is really getting out. So, and that we could go on about this forever, but the fact that there's no information coming out makes me wonder if they're talking to Q, because that would be a big reason not to have information come out. So I don't know if all this goes on and it's just like we re-signed Brunette. It's like, why didn't you just do that? Well, it took so damn long. That's the thing.
Yeah, I just have to think, if Brunette was going to be hired as the head coach, don't you think it would have been done by now?
Yeah, I mean, why not have just, and we fired these guys,
or done the day they announced, McKenzie and Samuelson gone.
Right. Yeah. So something like somebody said in the comments, something's not right. Something doesn't sit right with all of this.
Yeah. Well,
all right.
Like I said, as soon as something happens,
we'll be on it.
We'll be on it.
Yep.
So,
all right, guys.
Be good, everybody. See you. Sundays?
Sunday, or as soon as they hire a coach, and yeah. All right, guys. Later.